I got this plane in August of 2001 and got to fly it for about 3 weeks before the terrorists decided they didn't like the Twin Towers and tore them down. I like to work on, it's kind of evident that I like to work on things, but I like to work on my plane, and I get involved with doing the annuals on it, and of course you have to have someone else sign it off. Annuals have to be done every year, as opposed to cars, which don't have any maintenance program at all. I designed the USB charger portion of the power poles that Delta Airlines uses. And how I got involved with that is kind of odd. One of my customers at Creative Kiosk called me and looking for some power supplies to go in the bottom of those poles. And he said he needed 1,300 of them, and I went looking for them and found some, and thought if I just made $2 each off of them, that'd be $2,600 that just had to make phone calls to get. I've always wanted one of these, and they needed to upgrade the output of these from half amp to an amp, and asked me what the charge would be, and I said I'd just like to have my own. So there's that, which are all over everywhere. So that was kind of fun. Now we'll go look at the lab. Did you check it out here? When you pull this pocket door closed, it lights up, it says in use. When we were kids, you didn't know if you were poor or rich. You just enjoyed your being with your friends, and so that was pretty much it, the way we grew up. The same thing for 5th grade, we moved to Fort Worth, Texas, and after a year there, we moved to Columbus, Mississippi. So I did 6th grade through 12th. I graduated in Columbus and moved from there to Austin on my own. My mother got a student loan for me to go to electronics school, and I've been interested in things electronics since I was 12. What we're working on now, these are electronic bird calls, and they're used for, this particular one is used for bobwhite quail, and they have a covey up call. So they establish a covey of quail, and then this sits down in here like that, hold it in place, and the call will go off. Once you verify that the audio chip's working, see those things are called pogo pins, and they push down and make contact with the back side of this. Once you've got the thing verified that it's working, and you're ready to build it into this guy right here. I did not get the associate's degree from that school because I quit when I was going there. The class ahead of me, a guy graduated. They turned around and made him an instructor. So he was my instructor the last little bit, and he drew a circuit on the board and said, if we have a short here, what is the voltage across this resistor right here? So it won't be anything, you got your power supply shorted out. And he jumped on me, assuring me that I didn't know what I was talking about. This is what a real workbench looks like. You have all this crud piled up here. and you scrape yourself off about 1.5 feet square of work area, and you got everything around you. It's all handy and easy reach. So there's another work area, you can tell. You need to kind of, in your heart, know ahead of time that it's a good idea before you take the risk. The reason you take the risk is for the reward that comes afterward. Austin Electronics let me know they were looking for somebody. I said, well, let me apply for it. And I did get the job there in November of '79. And I worked there until February of '82. Right about that time, we decided we would like to look into moving here to Georgia from Austin, and that's kind of got me excited. So I came down here and said, yeah, we might want to try this. I went back to Austin Electronics, told Mr. Austin that I was going to be moving, and he said, to Douglas, Georgia, and he said, well, stay another 6 months while I look for somebody else. And I said, okay. Well, the dream of restoring a Victorian house in Douglas fell through, so went back to Ed Austin and told him I'm not going to do that. Would he sell me Austin Electronics? And so we worked out a deal that he was extremely benevolent in making sure that I became the new owner of Austin Electronics, and I couldn't have asked for a nicer person to deal with. We talked about it, and they said this lot was available, so all I had to do was go across the street. The lady that was the real estate agent lived across the street, so we went over there and got to, let her know that we were interested in it and made an offer on it, and then next thing you know, we were buying it. So I started in on it, and yeah, I made some mistakes, but it's, still standing now. And then my brother James and Dana, his brother from another mother, were not working at the time, so I hired them to come out and help me, and between the three of us, we completed almost all of the framework for the house. And so far as did I know where I was going to land up? No, I just enjoyed what I was doing and followed it and tried to use good common sense as best I could to make it happen, and it did. I just feel like God has blessed me from one end to the other, and how things have worked out. I would not change anything. Failures or successes, it doesn't matter. I wouldn't change a thing. I got a call one day from a friend while we were grocery shopping, and he said he was working with a production company making a TV show called Halt and Catch Fire, which was an AMC production. Took it from there, it went to building the prop that they were going to use, which took me about a week to do it. So one of the challenges you find in the film industry is time constraints. So I had to stay after it and get it done on time, but I did, and it worked out rather well. If I had to give advice to somebody, I'd say, put your whole heart in it. Make sure you've done your homework. See that it is something that you're interested in. If it's something that you're totally consumed by, then once you get it rolling, you'll never work again. You'll just go enjoy doing what you do. You'll still accomplish stuff, but insofar as a drudgery, it won't be one. All fixed.